Hello you guys, it's Katie and welcome back to another video. Today's video is part 2 of the April market vlog. If you guys haven't already checked out part 1, I definitely recommend checking out part 1 before you check out part 2. If you already watched part 1, then you know that I split April into 2 since I had so many market days in the month of April. It was gonna be like a 3-hour long video if I put all the footage together. So instead we're doing part 1 and part 2. So part 1 is already up. Go ahead and check that out and then come back for part 2. Part 1 included the first and the second weekend of April. So now we're moving on to the third weekend of April. But before we do that, I do like to make a note at the beginning of all of my market videos that I do have a Google Doc linked below for you guys that has all of my market items included on it. So if you're interested in my tent, my tables, any of my displays, all of the things, they are all linked on that Google Doc for you guys. If you would like to purchase them or just see where I got them or see the sizing of something, all of that kind of stuff, it is linked below for you. And it is all affiliate links, so if you buy it, I do get a little bit of commission, which I greatly appreciate. Especially since I'm in full-time school now. It helps out a lot. But of course, don't buy something unless you are already wanting to buy it. Alright, so the third weekend of April, I started out with a Friday market, which was 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. This was my first night market of the season, so as you guys are going to see in the footage, I got to buy some new lights for my tent and it ended up being super cute, at least I think, at nighttime. So you guys are going to see all of that footage now, and then we will get into a little bit of a breakdown of how the event itself actually went. Hello you guys, apologies for the weird lighting, but I am at home currently and I am packing up to head to my parents because I have a night market tonight. It's actually the first like official night market I've ever done. I have done a handful that were just like a one table setup at the in-person store I sell at, but those were just like a really low-key, more like a meet the artist style thing instead of like a market. But anyways, this is my first official like actual one that I've paid for and everything. So that is from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. tonight. So I'm headed to my parents here in the next little bit once I finish packing up, and I'm going to make a like late lunch at their house for all of us, and we're gonna eat, pack up the car, and then head to the event. I have everything else packed up other than my food. I bring a bunch of food with me now because of being gluten-free and mostly dairy-free and all the things. So yeah, it's weird lighting in here because I closed all the blinds because nobody's gonna be here. But anyways, I'm grabbing my breakfast for tomorrow morning and then my lunch for the next 2 days and some leftovers that I have that I don't want to go bad, so I think I'll eat this for dinner tomorrow night probably before I leave their house, and it's just some pasta salad and 1 chicken breast. So that is it for what I'm bringing. Oh, and I need to fill up my water. I already put my tripod away, so apologies for the weird angle, but I've been bringing this giant, and when I say giant, I mean giant, but giant water bottle to markets recently because it is about as much water as I need in a day, like a little more than that. But otherwise, that's almost the exact amount I should drink in a day. So whenever you're at outdoor events and you can't fill up your water cup, it's nice to just have it all. That's all I have for you guys for now. I'm gonna go so I can finish packing everything up and then head out. So here we are setting up at this event. As you can tell, we pretty much had everything already set up other than the plushies. So really that's the only footage you're seeing is us putting out the plushies. If I'm remembering correct, I think I didn't get footage of us setting up. Honestly, first off, just because it was so hot, we were trying to get up the tent and everything first before recording anything. That way we could be under the tent. And then just in general too, we had to walk from the car to the spot and we didn't realize that. So we didn't bring a wagon or anything, so it was a little bit of a nightmare So with all that being said, I didn't get much footage other than us putting the plushies out. All right, it's very bright, but here's the setup for today. Got a few small things over here. Spring stuff in the front. The sun is starting to set back there, as I'm sure you can tell, so we're gonna turn on these lights. This is my first time having these. I bought them on Amazon. I'll have them linked below for you guys, of course. Turning the lights on. That was just a button too, so I'm turning it on. Red button. Yep, there you go. There's one more back there, if you don't mind.
Oh, yes, yes.
And then I have, this is actually already on, I think. Yep, I accidentally already had that on, so. And then there's that one, just press the button on it.
Press the button.
Yep. And then I twinkle.
Twinkle little star.
Now I'm gonna turn that one back on. There we go. It's not quite dark enough yet to really notice the lights, but whenever it is, they'll look good, I think. You guys, it has finally cooled off. It is so fantastic feeling now that it's not like 80 degrees. I think it's like 75 or 76 or something, but the difference is crazy. But anyways, I've been finishing some whips today. I crocheted a bunch of carcasses, is my boyfriend's way of referring to them, which is really funny. But anyways, I crocheted a bunch of those throughout the week and just have been finishing them up while we've been here. So I finished 5 little chicken nugget guys already, and I have them out now. And then I just finished one little leggy frog. I have 3 more bodies to finish. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this bin out with the leggy frogs. Hello you guys, and let me just say I love how the lighting has worked out in the booth here. I can give you guys a little overview of what it looks like. There's a lot of people packing up and we still have like 15 minutes-ish. So I'm really just waiting until it's over because sure, it's a little slow and whatever, but like 15 minutes longer sitting here is not going to kill me. And plus, I've just been hanging out with my mom and chatting and enjoying. So, yeah, this is one of the last markets I'm doing for a while. I mean, I do have a handful, like, far in between, but this is one of the last, like, weekends I'm doing with a bunch of markets in a row. So I probably won't be seeing my mom near as much because I see her a bunch whenever I have markets all the time. But I probably won't see her as much because of school and everything. Once market season is slowing down. So anyways, I'm just enjoying hanging out with her and crocheting and all the things. But yeah, we will pack up here in a little bit when it's actually time to pack up. I personally find it rude for vendors to pack up before time is over, but maybe that's just me. Like, I get it, it's slow, but like, we only have 15 minutes. We could wait out 15 minutes, you know? At least that's just me. I will say I have packed up early at shows before, but it's when the coordinators are literally like, hey, you can go ahead and pack up, like, we know this isn't going well, type thing. But that's only happened like 2 times. But anyways, I try to follow proper market etiquette and not pack up early unless I'm told it is okay, and nobody has come around and said cool to pack up. Just other people have started packing up for whatever reason. So anyways, I'm gonna give you guys a little overview, and honestly, we're downtown. The bars and stuff are just now coming alive at 9 p.m. so I feel like more people could come around. But anyways, here's the little overview of how it looks now that it's completely dark. I have my little twinkle battery lights just kind of weaved across the tables. And then I have this little letter sign, or letter box, I think is what it's called, from Amazon. And then, or sorry, that's from Walmart. And then all of these hanging lights are camping battery powered lights from Amazon. So they look a little funny on camera, but I promise in person it looks good. And now we're just taking down, which it is kind of hard to see what's going on since it is dark and this is a night market, but really just the setup is the same exact thing as the takedown, just the takedown is in reverse. So taking all the plushies and putting them away, and then taking the displays down, and then the tables down, then the tent, and pretty much the reverse order. So that's all we're doing here. Alright, so as far as this event on Friday the 18th, I had 12 sales total, which for the amount of people walking around, that's pretty good, I feel like, and the amount I made is definitely pretty good for the fee. The fee was very low at this one, so definitely not a bad event. I would do this one again if it just wasn't so hot. It ended up being so hot. Honestly, end of April at this point, I'm even considering maybe I should be doing only indoor events end of April and like the rest of till October, because oh my gosh, Florida is just unbearable. But especially setting up at 5 p.m. like right as the sun is about to set in a couple of hours, it's like really, really hot before the sun is setting. So it was definitely hot, but it ended up being a beautiful night once the sun set. But anyways, it was still a good event, and I will possibly do this one in the future depending on how busy I am with school and how many other events I have going on. But this one is a good one to keep in my back pocket if I am just looking for a little market that is not as expensive and a nice little night one. So anyways, with that, I'll tell you the top sellers. I didn't sell very many items, but because the fee was so low, I feel like it was still worth it. So I had 3 chickens sell, 1 sunflower turtle, 1 axolotl, 1 bee, and 1 pickle. And that was it. So really nothing crazy. It was a small amount of sales, like I said, 12 sales, but still a pretty good event. And yeah, my mom and I always have a good time, whether or not it's busy, whether or not I'm making mini sales, we still have a good time. So this one was a lot of fun. So that is this market from Friday the 18th. Now we're going to move on to Saturday the 19th, which was again the 3rd weekend of April. If you're interested in seeing the 1st and 2nd weekends of April, check out part 1 of this video. But Saturday the 19th was the day before Easter, so I didn't have anything on Sunday, but I did have Friday and Saturday this particular weekend. And this event was from noon to 6, but it was early birds get in an hour early, so you could purchase a ticket and pay a little more to get in an hour early. So technically it was actually 11 to 6, but not very many people in there until noon, if that makes sense. So anyways, with that, let's get on to the footage from this event, and then we will discuss. Now for this event, as you can tell, we are indoors, which is very nice, and especially from a change from the previous day, it was very nice to be inside. This was a much longer day, as you heard me say. It was 11 for early birds and then noon for the regular entrance time till 5 p.m. So a much longer day than a lot of the farmers market 9 to 2 or 10 to 2 hours I typically do. So with that being the case, it did feel like the day dragged on a little bit. But anyways, you're just seeing us set up here, of course, and then eventually we'll get the plushies out and everything. First is just the displays. And through this event, I really didn't get much footage talking to you guys, like at all, because once the event started, the music was so loud, and of course it's all copyrighted. So first off, I don't think you'd be able to hear my voice over the music, and then second off, YouTube would not like me playing copyrighted music in the background of my videos. So with that being said, I just opted to show a little bit of footage of me crocheting and just the setup and takedown. But you will, of course, hear a breakdown of how it went, just like I do for all the events. Easter is tomorrow as we're here at this event, so I'm actually doing an hourly countdown today, which is going to be funny. So it starts at 11, so that's 13 hours till midnight. And then when it hits noon, we'll change it to 12, and then 11, 10, all the way down. But I honestly just thought that was kind of funny, so that's what I'm doing. I need to put this back on fully, but otherwise we're set up. So here is the setup. So as I mentioned, you guys really aren't going to get live updates, unfortunately. I do like to try to do that at these events if it's possible, like if I'm not too busy or whatever. I do like to try to give you guys live updates, and this event really was not that busy, so I would have been able to do that if it just wasn't for the copyrighted music. But yeah, with the music blaring in the background, I couldn't even hear like me talking to my mom or whatever, let alone me talking to the camera. Would have just not been audible at all. So you guys just get footage of me crocheting on this day, and then we'll go to a little bit of a breakdown. Even for the after, I did not get any clips with my voice in it because, again, the music was just so loud. So I do just have a little after clip here so you guys can see what the table looks like after the event was over. And then here in a little bit, you're going to see the takedown footage. Alright, so this event was decent. Like, I definitely made way more at this event than I did at the Friday event that was the day before, but the fee was a lot more. So with that being the case, I definitely won't be doing this event again. I had a good experience. Like, there's nothing wrong with coordinators or any of the other vendors or anything like that. It was just not a very good event. I enjoyed being inside, I'll tell you that. I enjoyed being inside because it wasn't as hot, but it just was not that great of an event for me, sales-wise, unfortunately. Now, I do think it had to do with the type of event. It was specifically a vintage, like, clothing pop-up situation where you go and buy clothes and thrift mainly. So I think that might be why, but I had seen some other crocheters go there and chatted with them, and they said they had success at this event, so I was like, well, maybe I'll try it. Tried it, learned it was not for me. So with that being the case, I just decided I won't be doing this event again, but that is okay. But I will go ahead and tell you what good sellers ended up being. The most of anything I sold was stickers. I sold $8 worth of stickers, but that still only equals up to be $8. But next most was 4 possums. Then we have a tie for 2 for a couple different items. We have 2 chicken nuggets. We have 2 chicks, 2 frogs, and 2 pickles, and 2 chickens. Sell. Then some one-off items. We had my baby Jack Skellington sell. We had a inappropriate stress sell. I don't know how else to say it, because I don't want YouTube to get mad at me. So one of the 18+ area items sell. And then an axolotl, a bee, a triceratops, a duck, and an alien. So that was all for this event. A decent amount of items, and even the amount I made I would typically be happy with, but I did pay a lot more for the vendor fee at this event, so that's why this event is one that I'm saying I'm not going to do again, because with the fee being what it just was not worth it for me personally. So anyways, with that though, we're going to move on to the final market day I had in April, which was the following Saturday, the 26th. And this event was on another little farm, and it was from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. As you can probably tell, the footage you're seeing for this event is unfortunately from my phone, because I either lost the footage or maybe I didn't even remember my camera at this event. I have no idea, honestly. This was so long ago that I just don't remember, but I do have before and after videos on my phone here that I am showing you guys. And then in a second here, it's going to cut to a little Instagram reel / YouTube short that I posted that was also filmed at this same event. So I went ahead and inserted that into this video just so you guys can see. And that was about what I ended up making, or actually whips that I ended up finishing during this event. So this was actually posted a couple months ago, like probably a week or so after this event actually happened. So if you don't watch the shorts that are here on my channel, I would definitely recommend checking those out if you want like more real-time videos, because obviously those being only like a minute long, I'm able to record them and post them much quicker than I am these longer videos. But yeah, I wanted to go ahead and put the little bit of footage I did have from my phone in here for you guys, so you can kind of get an idea of what this market day looked like and what the setup looked like and everything. And then we'll move on to, of course, the breakdown and what good sellers were and all that. Alright, so this is another event that I probably will not be doing again, because it just did not end up being profitable enough for me, which is okay. I honestly have just been liking this past couple of months where I was trying out different events. It kind of gave me some perspective on what sort of areas and what type of events I end up doing better at. So that's always good things to learn, of course. And I have always sort of known that stuff within my business, but of course it just kind of reiterated, like, yeah, okay, I need to stick with more things that are free to get in, for example. More things that are kid-friendly, things like that is where I seem to do better. So it just kind of reiterated that for me. But anyways, this event was not like a crazy high fee or anything, thankfully, and I did make the fee back. But I actually had a friend from my old job that I worked come and see me, and I think that was the only reason I made the fee back, because she bought like a ton of stuff from me. So shout out to her if you're watching. And yeah, I think she's the only reason I ended up making the feedback, or at least making a decent amount. Without her, I think it would have been a lot less. But anyways, biggest and most expensive item I sold was my jumbo frog, which she bought. And then I also sold 3 regular frogs, $3 worth of stickers, 2 bees, 2 chickens, 1 axolotl, one opossum, and one blueberry. So that was all as far as the items. And then I had 7 sales total, which was definitely a big plummet compared to other events. Normally my average is like 20, maybe 15 if it's a slow day. So 7 was really, really slow. Like I said, the only reason I ended up with a decent overall total is because I had that friend stop by. So yeah, again, kind of another sucky one. But if you guys saw the part 1 of this video, the very first weekend I did in April was much better. Like I said, I definitely recommend checking out that video if you haven't already, but that was much better, and I had a hard time keeping up with my inventory after that because the Monday after that first weekend of April, I started nursing school, so I didn't have much time to crochet at all, and then I sold so much of my inventory that first weekend that over the next couple of events I had way less than I would have hoped to at some of these events. So I do think that obviously affected it, of course, but I still had a decent amount of inventory that my sales should not have been as low as they were at quite a few of these events. So that's why a lot of them are being crossed off my list of I had a good time, you know, I appreciate the coordinator's time, and I don't have anything wrong to say about them or their event, but for me and my business personally, I will not be selling at most of these events again just because of how they ended up being for me. But with that, that's all I have for you guys today for part 2 of the April market vlog. If you enjoyed, please do give this video a big thumbs up. Let me know, because this was technically the end of my market season. I have done a few markets in May and June, but now I'm officially done, and when I was doing a whole bunch of markets ended in April, so I haven't filmed any of them since these. But if you guys enjoyed the style of videos that I did for February, March, and then part 1 and part 2 for April, let me know. I can definitely continue to do those in October when my market season starts up again, and just in general in the future I can continue to do these if you guys enjoy. So let me know, or let me know if you think they're getting repetitive and you would like to see something else. That's perfectly fine too. Just let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Also, just chat with me down below. I love to discuss what markets you guys are doing, what your best sellers are, what you've been crocheting, yarns you bought recently, anything and everything. I love chatting with you guys, and I always try to get back to all the comments. So leave me a comment down below. And if you guys want to see more from me, in the description box below you can always find more videos of mine, my blog with free crochet patterns, my Etsy shop with even more crochet patterns, all of my social medias, and so much more linked in the description box for you if you would like to check any of that out. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell here on this channel so you don't miss out on future videos. And now that I am in full-time nursing school for the next 2 years, I don't really have a posting schedule, so the best way to know when I've posted a video is making sure you are subscribed and turning on the notification bell for my channel so that you will be notified whenever I do post a brand new video. But with that, thank you guys so very much for watching today's video, and I will see you here in the next one. Goodbye!